What is going on, irregulars? Welcome back on another Thursday. It is your boy Bobby.
No, I want you to ask me how I am. That was really good, though.
Oh my gosh. Caitlin, how are you doing?
I'm great. It's so good to be back.
It's weird a little bit. First things first, the basement's a mess.
Yeah.
Ugh.
We've torn it apart. Our last episode, we traveled to Philly and we forgot. So we came down here and all the shit was still packed up.
My
So that was
God
fun.
damn it. And I was like, oh man, I should have done that. I felt guilty. And then here we are like 2 hours later after I already set up. Now we're recording.
Yeah, it's fine though. It's all good. We haven't been down here in a bit. Last time we were here, I think, was it your birthday? Or right after your birthday?
It was the party. Yeah.
That was so fun. Oh my God.
I'm still drunk.
Yes, Bobby, you're drinking again. Can I
Yeah.
just get a little round of applause for our boy Bobby?
I'm clapping for
He
myself.
has fallen off the wagon of sobriety and back into the degenerate lifestyle like the rest of us.
Yes,
How
it's
does
good.
it feel?
Feels good. Feels good. Got super smashed in New York this weekend, so that was fun for another Dirty 30 party. Shout out to Ariel.
Happy birthday, Ariel.
Yes, that was a good time. We went on a booze cruise kind of thing. You know, and it was funny because I thought everyone was gonna be like super dressed up. Of course, like the girls like all looked good. You know what I mean? Because that's what they do. But I was like, man, like we're gonna be in New York City. Like these guys are gonna be, dude. Me, Pete, and Wags looked the best out of all the dudes there. Sorry, guys. We just looked freaking gangster.
So were you guys dressed up in like formal attire, correct?
100%. We were 110% overdressed. But as Pete said, I think it's impossible to be overdressed when you're on a fucking 80-foot yacht.
Agreed. So wait, what do the other guys wear?
They kind of just had like black slacks and like a button-up like Hawaiian shirt kind of thing.
Because it was a black and white party, right?
Correct. Yeah, the
Okay.
theme was like a black and white. Yeah, so now me and Pete and Wags just vests, ties.
Can we just tell them? So, one of Bobby's 8,000 birthday parties that we threw for him, I can't keep track of which one it was.
Hold on. I was in control of one of them. And that was the
Anyway,
plan, and y'all decided to throw another
he
one.
likes to celebrate his birthday so
I
much.
don't
It's so
like my
annoying.
birthday. I hate my birthday.
Anyway, so we're upstairs drinking tequila, and we're trying to like brainstorm on their outfits. I'm not invited to this party, by the way, and I'm like fully invested in Pete, Wags, and Bobby's outfits. And we're like, we gotta like, it's a New York party. Like everyone's gonna be dressed to the nines. Like, so you guys should just go like the funny route. Cause I'm like, and that just says a lot about like, I don't know who I am as a person, whatever. I'm like, can't beat him. At least you can be fucking funny. So we're brainstorming, and we were pretty drunk, I guess.
We were smashed, and you told us to go as the three blind mice. And there was a point in time where I was like, "This is a great idea."
All four of us were like, "Oh my God, that's it. That's a great idea." And we're like, "The three blind mice, it's perfect." And then
Reality set in. I'm like, "That's a fucking terrible idea."
no, the best part of it was I think it was a couple days later. Like we didn't really revisit the idea. Obviously, I'm not going to this party, so it's not like in the forefront of my
Right.
mind. And you just hit me with a random ass text. You're like, "Can we just like agree that that was such a fucking bad idea?" I'm like, "Oh my God, yeah, it was awful. It
That
was
was
terrible."
so bad.
But in the moment, we were all like, "This is it, 1,000%."
I was thoroughly convinced I was going as a mouse.
We were looking up mice ears on fucking Amazon.
We were. Thank God, dude. Oh my gosh, the Amazon has like clicked the buy now. Like how? Oh my gosh, we were probably so close to ordering mice ears.
You were, because
at,
I
like,
was
one of them.
trying so hard to convince Pete to wear them, and he would not. He's, "Oh no, I'm fucking mice ears." I'm like, "Well, then how are you gonna be a mouse?"
Yeah. Thank God we didn't do that because we looked awesome anyways.
Yeah.
So so that was really cool. Got super smashed off of that, and then hung out in the pool bar the next day and got sunburned.
Love that.
Can't beat that, right? I had a White Claw in the next morning, and immediately got drunk again off of half a White
I
Claw.
love that.
I
That's the
was
best
like,
feeling.
whoa, I'm freaking buzzed.
It's like the cheapest date and the best day. I love being drunk when the sun's out.
Yeah, I mean, we had to drive home, so we had to like be careful,
Oh.
So I had 2 White Claws, left it at that, and I think Wags just had 1, and I was like, I'm done. We were hurting. We were
Yeah,
hurting.
I bet.
And then besides that, the only other crazy thing, not the only, but like another crazy, I saw a girl get hit by a car.
Wait,
Like
in New York City?
no, in right around the corner from my work.
Okay, I need details. Like, how old
I
was
had a
she?
front row view to it. So right now,
You act like this was like a sporting event. Somebody got hit by a car, Bobby.
yeah, dude, she got hit by a car. She's fine.
How do
so
you know?
I
I should
helped
just
her
stop
up.
asking questions. Continue.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So I'm borrowing Pete's car right now because my car's in the shop, and I'm in the left-hand turn lane, and this girl's like running across in front of the car.
Did you hit her?
I hit the girl. No, I'm just
Oh my
kidding.
God.
No, I hit the girl.
I was like, plot twist.
Oh my gosh, that reminds me of the episode of The Office. But anyways, so she was like running in front of the car, like across, traffic, and a car was making a left, like coming up behind her and making a left. So they kind of were like, I know the viewers or listeners can't see this, but
I can see it, and I'm still
like
confused.
this.
But anyway,
So she's like running like this, and the car came like from an angle like that, and the car like hit her with like the rear driver's side door. You know what I mean?
then it like clipped her legs.
No, it clipped her whole like side of her body, knocked her on the ground. So I saw this like unfolding, and it's actually a Dane Cook skit where he's like, I saw this guy almost get hit by a car, and the only thing I could get out in the time, because it happened so fast, was I had a little bit more time. I went, no, 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 and I fucking laid on the horn. And I was like, oh my gosh. And there was a fraction of a second where I'm like, this car's going to just miss her. Like, just miss her. Nope, tags her. And I was like, fuck. So just pull the e-brake up in Pete's car.
Does Pete know this?
Yeah.
Okay.
And throw the 4-ways on and just leave Pete's car like in the left-hand turn lane, just sitting there, like whatever.
And where is this?
Allentown and Valley Forge.
Allentown. Okay. Oh wow.
Yeah.
So busy
A
intersection.
busy intersection.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
So
Okay.
I just left it there. I like hopped out. I ran out, hopped out of the car, and like she was a younger girl. She was like 16-year-old girl. She was on the ground. I like picked her up, like walked her off the side of the road and whatnot. She was fine. She busted up elbow and like I'm sure her arm hurt like shit the next day. She got hit by a fucking car. But
Did the car drive away?
no, they parked down the street.
Oh,
It was
thank
also
God.
another young girl. She may have been like, if she was older than 20, I'd be shocked.
Was she crying?
She was freaking, and I was like, "Yo, it's fine." She's like, "No, I don't want any attention." Like, and we're like, "It's not about attention. Like, she's good. Like, she's got some scrapes, but she's not dead. Like, we need to make sure you're okay to drive
Yeah.
home because you're fucking losing it, right?" And yeah, so I stayed and like gave a statement to the cops and all that stuff, and I was just like, "I'm just trying to get gas. Like, this
Wow.
is frustrating." And then I had to park in the bank over.
Mhm.
And the gas station that I go to is to the right of the bank, but you can't make a left out of the bank.
I know
And then on the
exactly.
other side, you can't make a left out
Mhm.
of there either. And I'm like, well, normally I would just make an illegal left real quick, but there's like still 6 cops around here because this girl got hit by a car. I'm like, are you kidding me? I just want to go get gas. So I just made the illegal left. I said, screw it, right in front of like 6 cops. No, obviously they're not going to.
That was ballsy.
Whatever, dude. What are they gonna do? Yell at me? I'd be really? I just helped this girl. This girl got hit by a car. You know what I mean? You're gonna yell at me because I'm 30 minutes away from being able to make a left because it's like you can't make a left between like 4 and 6 or whatever.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah.
So many circumstances there.
I know. I was super pissed, but anyways, that's pretty much been my last couple weeks. What about you?
Well, we haven't really seen each other since your birthday.
Oof, it's probably a good thing. right?
Honestly, yeah. I feel like we needed a little bit of a break from each other.
Yeah.
It was an
I
intense
fucking hate
couple of
you. No, I'm
weeks.
just kidding.
No, your birthday was so fun. I think I had more fun at both your parties than you did, but
Really?
I had so much fun at your party.
I
It was
mean,
so
I had a
great.
lot of fun too, but I mean,
I always say though, people that because I went to a bachelorette party a couple years ago that was very similar to this. When the person throwing the event is, and I'm about to gas you up, so fucking take it in and don't get used to it.
I'm just gonna say okay.
When the person that throws the event is a good person and has a high caliber of friends. Like if you're a dick, your friends are usually dicks, right? But if
Hmm.
you're a good person, you usually have a good group of friends. But especially if they have a couple different pockets of good friends that don't really know each other but can get along well, like it says so much about the person, number one, but also it just creates the best fucking atmosphere. And that was exactly what your party was.
Yeah, because I had like work friends. I had friends I hadn't seen in a while. I had college friends. I had the homies,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean, there. And like everyone kind of just vibed, you know. I know you hate that term, but
I know, I really do.
since then, what
Yeah.
have you been up to?
Well, as we know, I have a boyfriend. I still have the
Still have a
boyfriend.
boyfriend.
Yes.
He's still alive.
He is. Yeah, I haven't killed him yet. Um
Or he hasn't done it himself.
Whoa. All right. I'm a fucking joy. But regardless. Um yeah, so I think I've just been kind of navigating life as a girlfriend again. Um I'll say I said it last time around. Being a girlfriend for me is different this time because I'm older. I like to think that I'm wiser. But also I'm trying to be a lot more honest about what things I'm fucking up and what things I'm not.
Your
So,
flaws.
right, yeah. And before I'd be like, I'm not doing that wrong. Like, what do you mean I'm perfect? And I still say that, but like I know that I am.
Yeah.
So now it's funny, but before it was just like I was trying to convince myself and that person that. So yeah, I think routine is a really big thing for me. And when my routine gets fucked up in any way, I kind of just fall apart.
You
And
panic.
yeah, so I think changing up that routine has been challenging for me. I've been busier, way busier in my day job. My part-time bartending job is picking up a lot too now that COVID restrictions are over.
Hmm.
Your girl's fully vaccinated and excited to not wear a mask behind the bar.
Nice.
Um, Also, side note on that, it's funny for anyone in the service industry. If you no longer have to wear a mask, you feel the pain here. We've been able to conceal our dirty looks for a full fucking year. Like
That's a great feeling.
I mean, you work in retail.
Yeah.
So the fact that that's about to come to an end is
I got screamed at the other day by a customer for something. I'm going to try and keep it professional, but it was ridiculous. And like, customer left, and I looked at my coworkers. I was like, thank God I had my mask on
and what are
because
we gonna do
I'm
now?
like sitting here like grinning. I'm like, are you serious? Like,
Right.
yeah, I don't
What are
know.
we gonna do now? And then there's also like the little piece of it and I know this, I'm a bartender. I signed up for this, I fucking know, but it's still annoying when men are just like, "Oh, you should smile, sweetheart. Like life isn't that hard. You're a pretty young bartender. What do you have to be tired and upset about?" I'm like,
They're just being nice.
"I know, but sometimes I don't want to fucking smile, okay?"
I get it. But
And now
I
I
hate when
have
when I
to.
see those like memes and stuff or like people post and like I get it. It is annoying and whatnot, but like someone's just trying to be nice and they don't know how to do it, and that's you can't blame them. They don't
I
know
blame
you.
them.
If they knew that you liked tacos, they'd be like, "You should smile. I'll buy you tacos," and you'd be like, "Oh, this guy's the fucking shit,"
You know
right?
what? That's a good point.
They don't know who you are, so like,
Who would
how
that
good?
not work on? Amend the saying, add tacos to it. And I
Boom.
would
You should smile more. I'll buy you tacos if you do. And now everyone will be like, yes. All the girls that complain about it will not complain.
because I think for me, if someone was like, "I'll give you $20, sweetheart, if you smile," when I'm like bartending, I'd be like, "Say less. Here's the pearly whites, motherfucker." But I think some people are not as shallow as I am, so tacos might work for them. I
Yeah.
think so.
Tacos pretty much solve like 98% of all problems.
Okay, are you a
ever.
hard shell or a soft shell?
I am the man, and I take a soft shell or a hard shell and I wrap it in a hard shell, soft around the hard, and then eat it.
Okay, well, here's why I'm gonna one up you on that because I put the soft shell down and then put sprinkle cheese on it, stick it in the microwave for 15 seconds, and then wrap it around a hard shell.
Okay, you're an animal.
Boom. You're welcome,
Boom.
guys. How did we get here?
I have no idea.
Okay. So my relationship, yeah, I'm stressed, life's hard, but we're figuring it out and I'm still very happy.
That's all that
Um,
matters, right?
but with that said, I will say this. Um, Relationship weight, dude, it fucking blows. Like Hot Girl Summer's canceled.
Hot dog summer.
Yeah.
Hot dog.
Hot dog summer,
Extra cheese on there.
relish,
Ew.
chili,
Are we just going to talk about
cheese.
food? We started with
Yeah.
tacos and now we're at
Yeah.
hot dogs.
I'm dieting. Can you tell? I'm like talk just to talk more about it. So my boyfriend owns a bagel shop, which has been fucking horrible for my weight. And he's also super Italian, and I'm talking like
Yeah,
like
bro.
like old school Long Island Italian.
Like when you think of like New York Italian, he is that.
like he sounds like Tony Soprano.
Yes. Yeah. He's probably in the mafia, more than likely.
He might be. I would never know.
Yeah.
But so his mother, oh my God, her cooking, it's unbelievable. And like, I don't know, I've been so busy lately. I just haven't really had time to cook in about, I don't know, 365 days.
Nice.
But between the fucking bagels and like the Gordon Ramsay of a mother that he has, I'm like, Hot Girl Summer's canceled. I've traded in brown rice for bagels and running for riding dick, and it just doesn't really have the same effect.
There
So
you go. No.
basically, I'm fucked. Catch me in a one piece, but at least I'm happy.
Yeah, that's all that matters,
Yeah.
right? Speaking of relationships, I think that's kind of what we're going to dive into today, and kind of just a bunch of different aspects, things, topics or surrounding that, right?
Yeah, I'm just gonna talk some shit basically about people of the
Because-
opposite or same sex.
Yeah, so like we said it before when we were kind of strategizing, like we haven't talked shit in a while. Just
Nope.
talk shit.
And you and I also haven't seen each other in a while, so it's nice to catch up.
Yeah, so we're just gonna talk shit. What do you want to start with? We had a couple different ideas.
Well, okay, let's start with the topic that we disagree on the most about first.
Okay, which one was that? We disagree on a lot of shit.
The topic that I think doesn't exist, the friend zone.
The friend zone exists.
Okay.
Why doesn't it exist?
Okay, well, I think it's first important to. Can you look up on your phone actually, like what the definition of the friend zone
The
is?
definition of
Like,
the friend
would
zone.
you go on like Urban Dictionary for that? I feel like that's a good idea. But so I guess to me, when I think about what the friend zone means, I see it as a guy and a girl, or two people that are interested in one another, whether it's a girl, guy, girl, guy, whatever, who are vibing for a bit, and then something goes wrong on one of the ends, and then they shift them into the friend zone. But Bobby, what does Urban Dictionary say?
It's actually not even Urban Dictionary. It's the new Oxford American Dictionary, which I feel like sounds way more professional than the
Wow.
Urban Dictionary.
Okay.
It says a situation in which a friendship exists between two people, one whom has unreciprocated romantic or sexual interest in the other.
Okay.
So meaning one person has it, the other person doesn't.
Okay. And I just, for shits and giggles, want to know what Urban Dictionary says, because that shit can be funny sometimes.
Probably like it just probably just says like, yo, she doesn't fucking like you, bro. Quit Googling this shit.
Okay. A particularly aggravating metaphorical place that people end up in when someone they are interested in only wants to be friends. It is impossible to get over someone while in the friend zone because, as friends, you still see them too often for them to be erased from your memory, and yet you cannot be with them the way that you want. Okay, that was very PG. That was G.
That was G.
Yeah.
No, I would say the Oxford was G. That was PG. We get a little weird.
Also, the word of the day on Urban Dictionary is cheesecake. It's used to describe generally female imagery that's suggestive, but in a PG-13 sense rather than R or above sense. For an example, I didn't have any porn saved on my phone, so I fapped to some cheesecake instead.
That sounds weird. I don't think I like that one because I love eating cheesecake. So, anyways, let's forget that. So the friend zone 100% exists.
I guess.
It does because you may there's two different situations. You may start in the friend zone and work your way out of it, or you may be in the friend zone or not in the friend zone and work your way into it, which I think happens more often than the first one. But
see, I feel like to me, both scenarios you're describing are two people getting to know each other and then deciding that they either want to fall in love or fuck, or someone that's getting rejected. That I like you enough to be your friend, but I don't want to date you or sleep with you.
yeah, but there are people who like I said, who have worked their way out of that, where the opposite, whether it's a girl or a guy or a guy or a guy, whatever the situation is, um, where they didn't find them attractive at first. They didn't want to do any of this and blah, blah, blah. And then after getting to know them, they're no longer in that friend zone.
I agree. Okay, so I think that the friend zone exists in the way that you can work out of it. So I think that, and I can say this for my college boyfriend, I friend zoned him because he was my friend, and he isn't to the immediate reaction like, oh, I want to bang this dude.
And
But
then
but
you
he,
got to know him and you're
yeah,
like, this guy's kind of hot
hmm
in like a different way. So maybe the friend zone is one directional. Like
yeah,
you can only get out of it. You can't get in it.
yeah. Because getting into it, you're just getting rejected. That's it. You've been
I
in it.
think I can agree. I
Ooh,
want to
really?
argue. I want to argue it.
He
Like
was so against us when we started, guys. This is big.
I want to argue it. I'm trying to think on air here, which is tough.
I think saying to someone, "Oh, you got friend zoned," is basically the nice way of saying, she's
It's
just
just not
not
into
into
you.
you." Because that's essentially what it is. When you get friend zoned, it means that you have been deemed by this person as either not fuckable or not dateable. But they like you enough, they
But
still
what
want to be your
happens?
friend.
But what happens if they have banged and then it changed?
That's the same thing.
You've just been rejected, I
Yeah,
guess. But what would you call that though? You know what I mean?
rejection.
But you see, to me, like rejection is immediate. Not immediate, but like it's
To me, it's almost a worse form of rejection. It's like, I've gotten to know you. I've learned your heart. I've seen your soul, and I don't want
God,
it.
you know me, and you know how much that hurts me to hear right now. But damn, uh,
It's basically saying,
I
like,
want to
I
argue
like you
it.
as a person. I might even like sleeping with you, but I don't see this being anything that I would like to continue long term. So let's just be friends.
I agree, but I feel like it deserves a term. I hate putting terms on everything because I think we do it too much, but I feel like that deserves a term. And rejection not being, because to me, like when I hear rejection, I hear this girl at the bar, me walking up, hey, what's up? Like this and the other thing. And she's like, no. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll go fuck myself. You know what I mean? Like to me, that's when I think of the term rejection in the sense of like a relationship, that's what I think of, like me shooting my shot and being like, hey, which we all know I don't do, but me being like, hey, what's going on? And then just being like, nah, I'm good. And being like, fuck. That's rejection, as opposed to like if it's like, hey, what's up? And it's reciprocated a little bit. Maybe you do hook up, maybe you don't hook up, whatever. And then out of nowhere, even out of nowhere and not out of nowhere, it just ends.
That's that
That's
they're just not that into you.
Which is fine. I just feel like there should be a category for that. Like I said, I hate making
It
terms and
basically means that you didn't make the cut.
you didn't make the
You
cut.
didn't
Off the
make the
team.
team. Yeah.
Off the team. I guess that would be the term. You're not friend zoned. You're just off the team.
Yeah, you've been cut.
Okay. Can we agree with that?
Okay.
Cut from the team.
Yeah. So
Okay.
the friend zone, you can't get into it. You can only get out of it.
Yeah. How do you get out of it though? Like,
Um,
what would you, from a female's perspective, what would you do to get out of the friend zone?
hmm.
Or like, what can a guy
Okay,
do?
so I'll say this because this is how. Oh wow, I guess I friend zone a lot of people. Anyway, I'm having a moment. Okay, so I think one thing that you can do is to go. Okay, so if you're a guy, right, and you're going to a party, you've been invited to a party. There's going to be a couple of girls there, or maybe even just one that you've been interested in the past, and they have friend zoned you, right? So what you do is you bring another girl with you, whether it's your girlfriend or not. And you know what? This is a little bit toxic, but I'm just going to say it because it fucking works. Maybe you're leading this girl on. Maybe you don't even like her. Maybe you're having sex with her just because you're bored. But you bring this
Or
girl
maybe
to the
you
party.
even tell her, I'm bringing you here to make another girl jealous, because I do have friends who would be like, yeah, I'm game to do that.
If you have a friend like that, absolutely do that. But if you don't, this is where a little bit of like toxicity is going to work in your favor. It's probably going to come back and bite you in the future, but just hear me out. There's something about seeing a guy with another girl that if you've ever had like one slight thought about anything potentially with this man before, when you see him claimed by somebody else, especially if that someone is like successful a little bit or a little bit attractive, they don't have to be like the best looking, richest person out there, but just something that's like, oh, okay, like she saw something in him. Like, why didn't I think to look for something in him? Like, fuck, I
What is
missed
she
my
seeing that I didn't?
yeah, and like I had my chance for so long and I fucking missed it. Damn it. Like there's something about that that really just it works. It worked for
Flips a
me.
switch.
Yeah, it worked for me with my last toxic shitty relationship. I'll never forget. I saw him with the girl and I was like, "Oh, damn it. I always thought about doing that, but I just didn't." And like now she hasn't
Damn it.
and then lucky me, I got it, but I should just gave it to her. That's neither here nor there. Anyway,
Yeah.
this isn't about me.
I wonder, there's not really, see, guys are so like, I love when girls are always like, guys are so complicated. Yeah, we are fucking the most simple creatures. We are simple to a fault. Honestly, we are so dumb. Like, I love homies. I love you, boys. You guys are the shit. But y'all are dumb. Like, we are
True.
dumb.
True.
And so I don't think there's like anything like,
I would argue that the same thing might work for you guys. I don't think it'd work
no, because
quite
we
as
would just make fun
easily.
of that dude.
Yeah.
Like, literally, if she shows up with a dude, I'd be like, that dude's a fucking loser. I can kick his ass. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I can kick
but
his
it
ass,
would
or
make
he
you
looks like a
think
pussy,
it
or
would make you think a little bit like, oh shit, like if you had interest in her.
no.
Okay, well, what about if she ignores you?
I think a way a girl can work her way out of the friend zone. I've never friend zoned a girl. I don't
Yeah.
think I have in my life. So this is hard for me to think. This is actually a good question.
I mean, I can say I think as women, if we're trying to get out of the friend zone, we do the whole like focus on me. I'm gonna work out. I'm gonna look great. I'm gonna show him I don't need no man. Then
Right.
he's gonna want me. But I feel like that never fucking works.
No, I can tell you none of that works.
Can you guys see through that when we're doing that?
Absolutely.
Ah,
It's
shit.
like, it is not even,
Damn it.
it's like not even hard to see. You're like, okay, nice try, nerd. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if a girl, if she acted cool, you know, and I don't mean like, oh man, that chick's rad. Like, no, if she just acted straight up cool, you'd be like, damn, she don't give a fuck, kind of thing. You know what I
Like she
mean?
doesn't care that I don't want her, but not in the way that's like, I don't need you.
Yeah, like, yeah, because if you act like that, then it's just like, all right, cool. You're like, I don't need you. You're like, okay, cool. I don't want you.
Right.
You know what I mean? But if like things don't work out and then she shows up to the bar or whatever and she's just like, yo, bro, what's up? And you're just like, oh, what's up, squad? You know, and then you see her again the next weekend. You see the next weekend, you're like, damn, bro, she just straight up moved on. Like, fuck.
And
like,
she still wants to hang out.
but she still
too.
wants to hang out. And you're like,
Yeah.
God damn it. Like, or she's still cool being around or
Yeah.
whatever. You're like, damn, like, you know, but that's a fine line though, because if you're still like hanging around, you can get annoying quick too. Cause then you're like, okay, why is she around? Is she trying to work her way back in? If you're definitely not into it. So I guess it really is up to the guy's perspective, you know, if he's still into it or not.
Basically, if you're annoying, you're going to be a friend zone forever.
Yeah.
So don't be annoying.
Yeah. Don't be annoying. That's easier said than done because neither of us shut the fuck up.
I was trying to come up with something to retort to that, but I have nothing.
Yeah. I was talking to my buddy the other day and he was just like, God, man, you and your roommate, two people who don't shut the fuck up.
Oh
I was
my
like, dude,
God.
I don't talk at all anymore. And he's like, what are you talking about? I was like, why do you think I started a goddamn podcast? I just get all my talking out there.
Mhm.
You know, I was like, I barely talk that much anymore. He's like, actually, I think you're right. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's really a way, girl. Back to the original topic.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a way, girl. I think if she just acts cool, you know what I mean? You're like, God damn, she really don't give a. If you show that she don't give a fuck, if you act like you don't give a fuck, we know.
And then there's the obvious, like, having a glow up. Like, if you just, like, get hot. But then that happens, like,
Yeah.
to girls and guys. Usually
Yeah.
more to guys than girls, which is annoying.
Yeah,
especially
girls are
as
a
you
little bit more.
fuckers get older. But
I think
whatever.
girls are a little bit more affected by that. You know,
Oh
the
my
glow up where
God.
like a guy's like, damn, he's fucking got a new wardrobe or whatever it is.
Or he
You're like,
grows a beard, or like sometimes it's like the teetering line of like he's losing his hair and he just leans into it and grows a beard and shaves his head. I'm literally not coming for you, Bobby, but
Yes.
like that can be a glow up. Oh, shout out to the glow ups, although it's fucking annoying that you guys get better looking as you get older.
That, maybe for them, I'm not on that team.
Oh, yes,
I'm
you are.
getting
Shut up.
older. I'm getting older and more and more and more bald every day.
Okay, I'm going to post a picture of 17-year-old you and 30-year-old you. And ladies, I need to know, who would you rather fuck?
Oh
I'm going to
my God.
go with 30-year-old Bobby and
Yeah,
not 17-year-old.
17-year-old Bobby was.
Maybe let's do 18 because that's illegal, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Even 18-year-old Bobby was a practical infant.
Yeah.
It was 130 pounds.
Yeah.
That was the size of my right leg. But
Again, how did we get here?
I have no idea.
Okay, so another thing we kind of wanted to talk about, which fits nicely with this, is something that Bobby's talked about previously on the podcast before I joined, but I think it's such an impactful like way of looking at things that I just feel like we need to say it again. So
Yeah, and we have a bunch of new listeners now, so a different group. And I think it's very important that people understand this. And I'm going to go on a tiny monologue to explain it because people don't, when they first hear it, they're like, no fucking way, and they get like real all
I agree, but it's
in a
worth
bunch.
it. Buckle up.
So it's my concept of know, would, and want. Okay.
In terms of like friendships with
the opposite sex. Correct. There's girls out there and they fall into 3 categories: know, would, or want. No, I would not bang that girl. I would bang that girl. Or I want to bang that girl. And the fundamental difference between the last two is there are plenty of girls that I would bang that I don't want to bang. And that is huge. Now, you can't count your friends, girlfriends, fiancés, wives, some of their ex-girlfriends, depending on, like I said, the conditions of the friendship that you have with your friends and the boundaries that you have set with each other. Some are different. Some of my friends don't care about their exes. Some of my friends do. That's between you two, but those are off limits.
Well, I think that relationship too is just so different. Like it almost just like that I feel like that these conditions and what you're talking about almost just like there's something in your brain that just turns off and you don't even like they're not even on the playing field at all.
Yeah, sometimes depending on again, it depends on who it is. Because like I've had friends where they're like, I'm like, damn, like I've always thought this girl was hot, and my buddy wound up dating her, and he's like, dude, I literally hate that girl.
Well,
I
no,
don't
not
care.
exes. I mean like wives, girlfriends.
Oh yeah. Oh, wives, girlfriends. Yeah, no.
It's like family. You're like,
Like-
would I fuck my cousin? No.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. So like, do I find some of my friends' girlfriends and wives attractive? Yeah, they're attractive
Right.
people, but
Mhm.
no,
Yeah.
like just no,
Yeah.
like just no. The other condition that needs to be on the no, would, and want theory, I guess it would be a theory,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Is you have to be in touch with said person. So when you say like I'm friends with Erica or something like that, you're like, okay, do you talk to Erica once a week? No. Once a month? Maybe. So you're really talking to her like once every 2 months, month and a half, 2 months. Yeah, maybe. Okay, you're not friends.
Right.
Yeah, you're not friends with her. You're more of acquaintances.
So
That doesn't count.
This theory rule counts for people who are friends.
People who you are in a regular, communication with.
Right.
You
Okay.
know what I mean?
Mhm.
You're talking to, I would say, at least once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks.
Enough to know what's going on in their lives.
Exactly. Yeah. And there is not a single girl that I am friends with that I stay in touch with at any point in like we said, that regular communication relationship there, that I wouldn't have sex with. Not one.
I think that's a lie because you and I talked about one before.
One.
Right.
That's it. And I literally can't think of anybody else.
And see, like for me, I have so many more. I have like 100 billion.
Again, but that is to me, that is a one-way feeling where every 100 billion one of those dudes would definitely bang you or
Right.
want to bang you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it just doesn't exist. And I'm going to blame, again, sorry guys, but I'm going to blame guys. Like that's our problem. That's not a girl's problem.
I
That,
agree.
you know what I mean?
It does make it frustrating for us, especially
Oh, I feel bad for you. I
it's
do.
frustrating. But I can say I agree with your theory, though. I mean, I think any male that I have a close relationship with, to the point where I'm communicating with them pretty regularly, that that hierarchy does kind of apply. But I think it's a lot easier for women to just be like, "Oh yeah, he's just my friend." Like I guess
Well,
that's
they
where we
have
do friend zone the guy, you
that.
know?
Yeah, that's the because you guys control it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Guys are usually genetically programmed to want to have sex all of the times, all of the time. You know what I mean? So like the for the most part, I can't
Right.
speak for all, whatever, but for the most part, most guys, if you ask a dude in the middle of lunch at work, hey, do you want to have sex? He'd be like, yeah, sure. You know what I mean? Like, so I feel bad, you know, for the women because they control it. But that's, you get where I'm going with this?
Absolutely, and I think that makes sense a lot too because as a girl in a relationship, that's the first thing you hear from your significant other if a guy's in your DMs or if a guy's being super nice to you when you're out. It's like, "Oh, he just wants to fuck you." And like I can say until recently I've always been like, "You that's not no he doesn't. Like he's my friend."
Being
Like
naive to it.
and I really believed that my boyfriend was being insecure or being controlling, and since I've just started being a little bit more,
Self aware.
I guess, not even self-aware because it's not me, it's you guys,
Oh,
but
yeah,
just
true.
aware in general. um they probably do want to fuck
Yeah,
me. So
absolutely. Absolutely. And that leads into, I mean, that's a perfect transition to our next topic. Like, when you're in a relationship, can you have friends with the opposite sex?
I think it's
Friends, like I
tough.
said, someone you keep in touch with regularly, this, that, and the other thing. Because I have friends that I have girlfriends that I keep in touch with regularly, all that stuff that I 100% either would or want to. You know what I mean? Well, if I wind up not dating those girls, is it fair to still be friends with said girl, even though it clearly would go from if it say that I want to bang Erica, like I said, this, she would go from a want to a would because I'm in a relationship. Would I still do it? Yeah, if I was single.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Do I want to? No, because I have a girlfriend. You
But
know,
would the relationship change because you didn't actively want to
so
sleep with her
that's
anymore?
I think that's really where this topic can go. Is like that's not fair to quote Erica. You know what I mean? It's not fair to
I'm
her.
so sorry if your name's Erica and you're listening to this
Right? Yeah, there
podcast.
is no specific. I know like two girls named Erica, but the you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely,
That's not
yeah.
fair to Erica. It's not fair
Oh,
to her, but it's also not fair to your girlfriend.
yeah. Oh yeah, hell no.
So where does where do you go with that?
Well,
And the same goes for girls with guys. You know what I mean? Like especially if you've that's later. That's the next topic. Um,
I know my mind's like racing right
yeah.
now.
So like, I mean, but like I was saying, the same goes for girls with guys. What if there was a dude that you would and that you were friends with, never happened, but then you get in a relationship, and you're like, you know, damn, that sucks. I can't really treat Jack the way that I used to hang out with Jack and this, that, and the other thing because I'm in a relationship, but Jack didn't do anything wrong. He
Well,
just
I'm dealing with that right now. I mean, I have a lot of really good guy friends. Um and obviously there's some of them that are woods. I mean, it just is what it is. It's human nature.
to be attracted to more than one person.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah. And I've definitely had to kind of pull back, not necessarily the friendship, but just change the nature of the friendship a little bit just to make it like to put an emphasis on the platonic nature of it versus like any kind of like flirtiness or cues that I might be interested, just like cut all that shit and really just hone in on like the friendship piece of it.
And I think girls are a lot better at doing that, like honing in on the platonic side of it
Right.
than guys are. And that's why most relationships get into, or a lot of relationships that do have these struggles, it's usually the guy because I don't think we're good at it. We
Yeah.
don't know how to be, it's hard to be platonic with a girl. It's just fucking hard.
Well, especially because guys think if you respond to them at all that you're like, "Oh, she's interested. She's into it."
Yeah.
Not all guys, but a lot of guys. Like
Yeah.
my brother said it perfectly before. Unless you tell a man straight up, look him in the eye. I do not want to sleep with you today, tomorrow, or ever. Even then, there's a piece of them that's like, so you're saying there's a
Yeah,
chance?
there is an afterlife too, so
Exactly. Yes.
right? They're like, "Wait, so ever? But that means that, if we die, maybe in the next life,
Right.
right?"
Oh my God, I could totally hear some asshole saying that.
Yeah, some
I
drunk
actually
at the
have an
bar.
idea of like a friend of yours that would say that. I'll tell you off air.
Yes, yes. Oh my, he 100% would. 100% would.
Oh my
But he would
God.
say it in a way that you would just look at him and shake your head and just be like, "You're an idiot. Like I love you, but you're an idiot." You know
Yes,
what I
the
mean?
only way to respond to that man
Yes.
a lot of the time.
Yes.
Great guy.
Great guy, huge bush. But no, so like I think like I said, the challenging part is the fact that guys just again, I love you, we're dumb and we just don't know how to do it. Any suggestions? Because again, I just feel
Uh,
bad for the other person because like I have a friend who I'm really close with. I would all right, let me
I
rephrase.
think I
She's on
know
the
who you're
border.
talking about, actually.
Yeah, would want, you know what I mean?
I think I want to if it's the one I'm thinking of.
Right.
She's hot.
Yeah, and that wouldn't be fair to me to be like to treat her any differently than I've treated her pretty much since day one. And would that be fake of me to change who I am around her because of someone else who then just came into my life?
I think if the f-
Obviously, if there are certain boundaries that you have to, I mean,
absolutely,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? Like, if you're sending nudes or whatever it is, or even anything seductive to each other like that, that obviously needs to be cut. But like, even just like the playful banter, just
No,
yeah,
fuck that. No way.
I get it, but that's
Nope.
not fair to that
I
person.
disagree. I think if that person's really your friend and if that person respects you and your relationship, they'll understand and they'll follow your lead. If they are trying to bait you into that banter, they don't respect your relationship and they don't actually want you to be happy.
I didn't say that they were baiting. I'm just saying that they may not know not saying that they don't know that I have a girlfriend, okay, but they may not know that the boundaries have been changed. Because if I continue the banter like that, they're gonna just reciprocate it
See, I think
unknowingly. You know what I mean?
two respectful adults, if you're actually really friends and you care about each other, it's not gonna like you commit to a girl and then tomorrow it's like, well, no more flirting with my friends anymore. Like it's not gonna stop that day, but it's the more invested you get in the relationship, it's gonna fizzle out, I think. And I think whoever you're friends with will pick up on that and will respect that. And if they don't,
So you said pick up on that. My next question was gonna be, or do you just have a conversation with that person
if you
and just
can, I think you absolutely should. Yeah.
yeah, just be like, "Hey, listen, like I'm in a relationship, like we probably shouldn't talk like this to each other anymore. Like we're still cool. Like I love you to death. You're the homie, but we can't be doing what we've done because out of respect for my girlfriend or significant other,
That's so
whoever."
ironic. I actually just had this discussion with my boyfriend about, I don't know, probably a week and a half ago. He like, we always joke about like DMs and whatnot. And he's like, so is anybody still in your DMs? And I'm like, I was, of course, like 3 White Claws deep. So I'm like, well, I mean, the logical answer is no, babe, just you. Love you. But I'm like, well, I mean, there is like this one guy who still like hits me up here and there. And like, I haven't like I don't really respond to him as much, but like I just don't know how to say to him that like, hey, I have a boyfriend now and it's not really appropriate to be texting me at 10:30 on a Friday night to see what I'm doing. Like, but
Yeah,
but I don't know. We aren't that close, so it's like, and we
because
I
you can
don't
come off like a huge bitch, and then
exactly, and like we've never. I don't think we've ever flirted in the past, but I think that he definitely thinks he might have a chance. Which again, I don't think I've done anything to perpetuate that, but I think just by responding in general I
yeah.
might have.
Again, there's just guys who are just dumb and who think that just because you get a response, there's a chance. I mean, I'm guilty of it too. There are times, but also it also depends on the response. Sometimes you get a response, you're like, okay, that's
Yeah.
definitely you're flirting back,
Yeah.
right? And then all of a sudden you shoot your shot, and they're like, no, and you're like, wait, what? Like, so that's happened a lot as well too. But there has definitely been some times where I'm like, oh, dude, she messaged me back, and then I'm like, see her at the bar. I'm like, hey, what's up? She's like, hi, and you're like, okay, definitely misread that one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's I don't know that I'm learning right now that transition is difficult because a lot of my guy friends I've been friends with forever. And I just got out of a relationship a year ago, and I leaned on all of my friends so much. But I mean, I do have close relationships with these guys, and whether it's a would or a want or even just a no, having a good guy friend is can be intimidating to your boyfriend, especially if they don't know each other.
Yeah, I said this to an ex of mine, because I saw her one time. She was actually texting. We were out one night, and she was texting a guy who I used to be really good friends with, and I was like, and the friendship between me and that guy didn't like end on bad terms. We kind of just went separate ways, whatever. But I was like, why are you texting that person? Oh, he's just, whatever. And I'm like, he wants to fuck you. She's like, no, no, he would never, like this and thing. And I literally turned around. I was like, you need to realize that you're hot. You can't be naive. And if you were out in like Doylestown or whatever, and you were drunk and you lost your friends, I would not trust him to drive you home. Like he's a friend, but that guy, he can take advantage of that situation because you're drunk and you've texted him back. He has that
Yeah.
little, oh,
And
maybe
then
she'll cheat. You know what I mean? And
it pisses me off, but you're fucking right. It makes
yeah,
me so mad though. This is literally the way that this conversation ended with my boyfriend and I was like, listen, I'm a bartender. I have a fucking podcast. Like I've always been an outgoing person. This is who I am. Like me interacting with a human, no
boy,
matter,
girl,
yeah,
whatever. Yeah.
is gonna be engaging. It's just who I am. So like you're telling me that because he was like, do you think maybe like with this guy specifically, it's like, can you just tone it down a little bit? I'm like, I can for him, but like, what about everybody else? Like, so I have to change the way that I interact with men because men don't know how to digest conversations from me. It's like,
Yeah.
I hate to be like kind of soapboxy and like feministic in that way because it sounds very much
Like an
preachy,
attack. Yeah.
but it's a little frustrating. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I mean, I don't disagree. I mean, the problem is I feel like the bad eggs ruin it for the good ones.
Yeah.
Because the same goes for girls. Girls are the same way because I have been in relationships before with, long-term relationships, either short-term, whatever. And then all of a sudden, randomly, girls start hitting me up. And they know I'm with, and I'm like, what are you doing?
That's what I'm telling you. It's because you're off
Stop.
the market.
Yeah. So it's like, stop, which I guess leads into what we were talking about earlier, but you get what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
stop, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like are you trying to get me in trouble? So the same goes for girls too. I just think those bad eggs ruin it for, the good guys as usual and good girls, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Which
stop being a
sucks.
sneaky shit.
Yeah.
And we'd be allowed to have girlfriends and guy friends, but here we
I
are.
mean, you still want to bang them if you're friends with them, but yeah.
But you can like keep it to yourself and you don't have to let your significant other know that. Like obviously there's people all over the world, boyfriend or not, that you would like to have sex with. I'm sorry. I am not a person that believes that like once you fall in love, you're just like, and that's all. I just want to fuck you now forever. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna like you're not gonna do it unless you're an asshole.
Or you get a hall pass.
Oh my gosh. I guess we're gonna get right into that one. This is something that I don't know anything about you, Bobby.
Yeah. So I was in a relationship and I was traveling, and that said partner of mine, who was a female, gave me a hall pass. Said, you're going to be traveling, you're going to be out, you're going to be having fun, and you can do whatever you want.
Where were you traveling to?
I cannot disclose that information.
Was it domestic or international?
I cannot disclose that information.
That matters.
No, it doesn't. Put it this way, I wasn't going to the Jersey Shore.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah. So I was traveling, and she had two rules. I don't ever want to know about it, and don't bring anything back, aka wear a condom. So those were her two rules.
Did you do it?
No,
Of course you didn't.
I did not.
You're such a good guy.
I did not.
Well, how did you
I
feel
thought about
that?
it. I thought about it.
How did you feel about that? Hearing that.
I thought it was pretty cool of her.
Didn't see my initial reaction is why did she do that? Who did she want to fuck?
Yeah, I get that.
Did it go both ways? Did you tell her she could do anything she wanted while you were gone?
To be honest, I was young, so I didn't really even. I probably, if I was in a relationship now and she gave me a hall pass like that, I would ask like, "Are you sure this is what you actually want to do? Like, or are you just doing this because you think it would make me feel
Mm-hmm.
like that I can have a better time, whatever." And we would kind of just unpack that a little bit, and depending on the details of her feelings, I would make the decision or not. But if it came down to the fact that she was like, "No, I'm 100% cool with this," now I would tell her she could do whatever she wanted if she was home.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I just, again, same two rules. I don't ever want to know about it. Meaning, if you're going to do it,
Cover your tracks.
make sure everybody knows to never fucking tell me.
Right.
You know what I mean? And vice versa. You know what I mean?
Would
Yeah.
you do that in like today if your imaginary girlfriend gave you the same scenario? Would you take it and would you counter offer her that now?
I would counter offer her that 100%. Would I take it? Like, would I use the hall pass?
Mm-hmm.
Like, punch the time card on the hall pass? The situation would have to present itself. Like, I wouldn't actively go out and like try and hook up with someone else, but if I was in a different country or something like that, and there was some super hot Russian chick, yeah, probably I
Oh
would.
my God. See, I'm like,
I don't know.
my blood's boiling right now.
I say I would, but I thoroughly convinced that I would bitch out at the last
I
second.
don't think you would. I really don't.
I think I would bitch out.
Yeah. No, that's what I mean.
I think I would bitch out. I
Not
think
that you
I'd
bitch out, but I think that you
I would
invest.
talk a bunch of shit. I would definitely walk the line of like flirting aggressively.
Uh-huh.
And then when it came to it, I probably would make out with her because I feel like, whatever's a little harmless, but like anything else like past that,
Yeah.
I would be like, "Oh God," and freak out and not do it. I'd probably, you know what? I'm taking that all back. Yeah, I would say that I would do it and then definitely bitch out. 100%.
No, you're not. I wouldn't call it bitching out, but
I'm going to call it bitching
you're
out.
pretty loyal, so I don't think that you could. Once you commit to somebody, I can't see you doing that to them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with that. I'm going to call it bitching out because it sounds funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, if it were me, baby, let me just say,
Yeah.
first of all, I would say, why are you offering this to me? Who do you want to fuck? I don't trust you.
Correct. I mean, I think that's a valid excuse or a valid question to ask.
Yeah, I mean, this is all hypothetical because to me, if a man ever said this to me, that would mean that the relationship was so over. I would just go full psycho on them. So
Yeah.
then what I would do is I would go on the trip, cash in the hall pass, take like I would hire a photographer, a videographer. I would create a montage of my infidelity and like have it like produced like
Like a-
professionally and then make copies of it and send it to his whole family
Oh,
and like
Jesus.
put like get a big projector and like project it on his house all night long. So the house across from his bedroom window, so it's all that he can see all the time.
Oh my God.
Um
This is getting worse and worse as you keep talking.
no, okay, that's just like in theory. All I'm saying is like don't ever fuck with me because whew, your girl can go a little crazy. But no, I would never ever do that, first of all. And my first question would be why are you allowing me to do that? What do you want to do while I'm away? Or what have you done that you feel guilty
Put it
about
this
that
way.
you feel like you need to give me a hall pass for?
Put it this way. I'm going to put a little spin on this. If my girlfriend was going away, I would not offer a hall pass.
The only way I would offer it
The
is
only
if
way I would
I
offer it is
cheated
if
in the
she offered
past.
it to me and I was cool with it. Like I said, we unpacked the details of it and I would reciprocate the
Yeah.
offer back. I would never offer I would
Yeah.
never put the offer on the table first, ever.
Yeah, no. And I'm not saying that's wrong. Like there's as
To
we've
each his
learned
own.
in this podcast, there's lots of different kinds of sexual preferences and comfort levels and not saying that you're wrong. You're just wrong for me, baby, because that
Yeah.
shit would not fucking fly
Yeah.
for 1 second.
Yeah, it was interesting. I did not take advantage of it. There's more to that story that I'll tell you off air that I don't know if I'm cool with. Fuck, I'll tell it. So I had back-to-back trips. I was traveling, whatever, and I came home and didn't even get a chance to see my girlfriend. At that other trip, there was a girl who was hitting on me, and I went back to my hotel room. She followed me back, and she was like, "So, do you have a girlfriend?" And I had to make the decision right then and there of if I say yes or no. And because I got a hall pass for the week before, not that week, but I didn't cash my hall pass in.
Oh.
So what do I do? So I went with, of course, the honest route where I said, it's complicated. And she looked at me and she goes, you have a girlfriend. I'll see my way out. And she walked out. I had explained to her after the fact that, like, listen, or sorry, I didn't get a chance to explain to her. But what I was going to say was if she decided to indulge more into the conversation, I was going to say, hey, listen, I had this hall pass. It was given to me last week. I didn't use it. I'm kind of willing to use it right now. But what do you think? If you think that's fucked up, then I'm not going to
Oh
do
my
it. You know what I
God.
mean? Like to
It's like
unpack
a
this.
homework pass in elementary
Yeah,
school.
like where do you use your homework pass at?
That's
Do you
hysterical.
use it on the math, your math, even though you're really good at it, or do you use it on your English where you know what I mean? Like,
Wow.
so I didn't know what to do. I was young and dumb, you know what I mean? So I was just like, ugh. So that's why, even further proving my point that if I did get a hall pass, I would talk a bunch of shit and then bitch out.
But that's what makes you a good guy, Bobby.
Oh, thank you.
Anytime. So I do want to loop it back a little bit about friends and friends of the opposite sex when you're in a relationship. Um, I think you and I probably see eye to eye on this, and I don't know that everybody else will. And this is also speaking for people who have had a healthy amount of sexual experiences in their life with a variety of
Oh, I was like,
people.
where are you going with this? Now
Um,
I remember.
so when you're in a relationship, do you what do you think about telling your partner about the girls in your friend group, or if you're out and you're interacting with them that you've slept with, and vice versa? Like, do you want to know who she's fucked in her group? Like, what does that
No.
look like for you?
So I think some are unavoidable, right? Like if I'm dating Erica again, right? Poor Erica.
Erica.
Poor Erica. I'm dating Erica, but I know that Erica dated Johnny, right? Years ago. I don't really know Johnny, but like I'm acquaintances with him, seen him at the bar, whatever. He graduated a year below me or whatever. You know what I mean? Um, that's unavoidable.
Right.
I know
Hmm.
that that happened, and I'm okay with like whatever interaction comes from that. If there's like the one night stand, Joey. You know what I mean? Like she banged Joey, but I never knew that because it was a one night stand or whatever. I don't want to know anything. I don't care. I don't even. I barely even want to know about Johnny. I just happen to. I can't avoid to know about Johnny.
But what about like a guy in her, or maybe multiple guys in her friend group that,
Don't want to know. I don't want to
okay,
know.
but what if you found out down the line and she didn't tell you? How would you feel about that?
I wouldn't care. It was before me. I had nothing to do with it.
Would you feel, okay, so say Erica again, you're dating Erica. She has a big group of friends and she's slept with Sean. And you and Sean have now, you've been dating Erica for a year
Me and Sean have became
yeah,
boys.
of her friends. Like, you just click with Sean. You guys have been like brown out for like a while. And then you find out, like, yo, isn't that weird, bro? That like you and Sean are so close and you guys both fucked Erica. And you're like, wait, what?
Um, I don't think. I don't think she owes me nothing. She doesn't have to. She does not have to tell me. I think that would come about away from her. Does that make sense? Like I'm pretty sure Sean would tell me before. Like if we were broing out like that, Sean I think would be the one to be like, yo, yeah, it would come up like very casually. It'd be like, yeah, me and Erica had like a thing back in the day, and that's all you need to know. Because if you say like you had a thing, that means I'm just gonna go to the worst. You guys did anal. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? Like I just like whatever. So
Would you still be able to be friends with
yeah,
Sean,
absolutely.
though?
It had nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with me. Why the fuck would I care?
But I feel like
It was before me.
I don't think a lot of guys feel that way.
I think you think a lot of guys won't feel that way. A lot of guys don't give a fuck.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think they would care, especially if they're the ones tagging it now. They don't give a fuck.
See, and I feel similarly to you. I don't want to know who you've slept with.
I don't care.
I don't want to know much of anything. I will say this because I've experienced it before. If I'm dating, let's say, my current boyfriend, and there is a girl in our lives while we are together who is actively pursuing him, like say Alicia is in his DMs texting him when I'm not there trying to fuck him, and like I don't know this, I want to know. because I don't
I think that's a lot different though.
and I've experienced that firsthand because it's like awkward when I see Alicia out. Like I like Alicia, I have no issues with the girl, and then again, maybe I'm buddy buddy with her. She's who I fuck with, and then I find out that she's trying to sleep with my guy. It's like I feel deception on so many levels. Like you let me look like an idiot by befriending this girl who
Correct.
you know is trying to sleep with you, and also like you're a bitch and
I
I'll kill
think
you.
that's two different questions. I agree with you. Yeah,
Okay.
I think if if I am dating Erica and then became friends with Sean or whatever, and Sean is still actively trying to fuck Erica, and Erica doesn't tell me that Sean's being a little too much, a little extra, I guess you would say. Yeah, I would be upset with Erica because I would want to know so I can either, I hate saying this because it sounds so fucking lame, but like assert some dominance and just
Absolutely.
be like,
Yeah.
yo, bro, back the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like you're my boy, but back the fuck up.
Or also just like not be friends with that person
Or
because
just
they're
yeah,
being an asshole.
or decide to distance myself, whatever it is, that you choose to, how you choose to react to it, depending on the situation. Um, but I think, yeah, I would be upset with Erica, and I would be upset with Sean in this situation, in this hypothetical situation. Um, I think that's different than Sean and Erica just had banged in the
Yeah, I
past.
agree.
You know what I
I
mean?
just kind of like went off on a
Yeah, yeah. No, no. I no, it's a good point to bring up though. That those are two totally different situations, but are very similar at the same time. Because I don't care if Sean and Erica banged. I don't care. Okay. If Sean's still trying to bang Erica, I care.
right.
And I'm mad at both of you. I'm not mad at one more than the other, but I'm upset with both of you because I would want to know, because she's probably struggling too. And it's not so much like I'm mad at you because I feel like you were deceptive to me. I feel like you are probably struggling on how to deliver that message and you don't know how to do it, where you could just tell me. And I feel like if I didn't set that, um, if I didn't set up the relationship to have an open platform to be able for you to just be honest with me, then I have to, then it's more of a self-reflection for me where I'm like, damn, like what am I doing that my girl can't even just be like, hey, Sean's kind of being a dick still, and trying to hit on me and whatnot. And you just dial it back in.
Oh, I disagree. I think you're taking away too much responsibility there. I think if your significant other allows you to befriend someone that's actively pursuing them, like they have to, there's just a level of like embarrassment, in my opinion, that goes on with that. Because more than likely, if someone's trying to pursue someone in a group of friends, or even maybe even not, more than likely you're going to have an interaction with that person. And if your significant other allows you to be nice to this person and like kiki and bullshit with them and like be friendly with them, and like this girl that's trying to fuck your dude is like looking at your dude like ha, 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 your girlfriend's an idiot, and like we both know that I would fuck you if I could. Like there's a level of like mocking and like embarrassment that your significant other is allowing to happen, allowing you to look stupid in front of this other person. Like
No, I get that. I agree. I feel like it's kind of like a split though, because I think there is some of it that is like, I know how I felt where sometimes like a girl has been too aggressive, okay, and I don't know how to, or something had happened that was outside of my control. A girl DM me, or a girl said this, or whatever the hell the situation is, and I'm like, okay, I know I should tell my girlfriend, but I have no idea how, because either, no matter what way I say it, I feel like I'm gonna get in trouble, even though I didn't do anything.
yeah, and
It-
it's
you
gonna
know,
hurt them too.
it's gonna, you know what I mean? Like, and it's like, no matter how I tell them, like, however you skin the cat, they're gonna be upset. And guess what? You're the messenger. It's like being the waiter. You know what I mean? 9 times out of 10, it's not the waiter's fault that the food's taking forever. It's everything else, but you're the waiter delivering the message,
Oh,
you know?
truth.
Right?
That hits me right where it hurts.
Exactly. So, like, I'm just like,
So maybe it's like you
I think it's a
wait.
mixture of both. Like, yeah, I don't want you to just be like, oh yeah, I'm not telling him, whatever, because, and then you just let me continue, like you said, to be buddy buddy with this person while he's trying to bang, my girl behind my back or whatever. I would be pretty upset with that. But at the same time, if there was this like nervousness of like, how do I tell you that like a dude that you've been chilling with and hanging out with a lot over the last year or however long is still trying to bang me without me being like, what the fuck, and like because the first person I'm gonna get mad at is you. Unfortunately, because you're
Yeah.
right there. You
Yeah.
know, I know that's not the right thing to do, but
I feel like maybe if it were to happen, I wouldn't bring it up unless we were out with that person and like I don't know, say his name's Sean. So if my boyfriend and I are out, Sean's like recently been in my DMs or texting me or just too flirty in public or whatever, maybe I wouldn't bring it up until it mattered. Like until my boyfriend and I were with Sean and Sean's like buddying up with my man and then I'm like, hey babe, like don't trust him. We'll talk about it later, but like he's not your friend. So
I bet you it. So what do they say? Timing, turf, and tone. You know what I mean?
I would not bring it up there by any means whatsoever, and I would
Yeah.
not really get into it. But I would just say like, hey, that's not a guy that you want to really put
Yeah.
a lot of energy into. We'll talk about it later, and I'd say something.
Yeah, I see. I
another
wouldn't even.
time.
If I were you, I would suggest not even saying that. Because if you said that, if we were dating and that happened, and you said that to me, I'd be like, oh no, I want to know right now. And if you didn't want to tell me right then and there, then I would get even more mad that you didn't tell me. I would just keep keep it to yourself, whatever. Car ride home, just be like, hey, I don't know if you picked up on this, but Sean was a little suspect. Like, I didn't want to bring it up at the party because I didn't want you to think about it for the
That's
rest
a
of the
good
time. I
point.
didn't want to have a conversation.
Ugh.
We're
Hate when
alone
you're
now.
right.
Yeah, thank you. You know, I that's what I would do. But I think even more so outside of that situation, I think it's important to, like I said, timing, turf, and tone. And that's hard to figure out sometimes. It's really hard to
Yeah.
figure out. I just went through this with something else in my life, the timing, turf, and tone. And I don't know, man, because like, you can't not tell them, but you can't tell them too soon, because if you tell them too soon and it winds up being something that you could have just
Yeah.
been like, hey, Sean, dial it back. He's like, oh shit, my bad. I
Mhm.
didn't even, whatever. Because then you're kind of like an ass in
Yeah.
a way. But then if it's too late, then as your significant other, you'd be like, damn, that's fucked up.
This could
Yeah.
all be fixed if people would just respect relationships and not try and sleep with people when they're dating somebody else.
Nah, fuck that.
You couldn't even say that, like, honestly. You would not do that, would you?
Have I hooked up with a dude's girlfriend?
Yeah, but like now that you're a respectable adult, have you done that?
If I don't know the dude, I don't really care.
Oh,
It's not my problem.
You're so
I'm
full
not.
of it. You would not do that.
Yes, I would. I
That's
don't.
disrespectful as shit.
That's not my problem. It's not my relationship.
You sound like a child when you say that. You know
No,
that,
it's
right?
no, it's not. It's not my problem. I don't owe him anything. I don't know
Yeah,
him.
but it's just
If she wants,
human decency.
am I
at that
going to
point.
go after a girl? Am I going to actively pursue a girl that has a boyfriend? No,
I think
it's
this is our
wasted
first
effort.
on-air fight, guys.
It's wasted effort. You know what I mean? Where
I
if
don't
her
think
friend,
I really don't think you would. I really don't think that you would.
I 100% would.
I don't think you would.
Let's be honest. I can't even get a fucking single girl to like me, let alone a girl that has a boyfriend.
I'm
You know
gonna
what I mean?
go ahead on the record and say I'm gonna defend your character again. You think that you would, but I think when it comes down to it, I don't think that you would. Because you're a good person, and that's not a good person. That's not a thing that good people do.
I think you're missing the difference in the fact that I wouldn't actively pursue a girl that has a boyfriend.
Okay.
But if I'm at a bar and a girl is hitting me up and whatever, she's hitting on me, okay. Again,
Okay.
we all know I don't make the first move. If she made the move, I would 100% reciprocate. Without a doubt. It has
Okay.
nothing to do with me. I didn't do
Okay.
anything. I just existed.
All right, fine. Because I think
Actively pursuing would be like, oh man, that brunette over there is like
Right,
really hot.
okay.
Be like, okay, I'm gonna go
Okay.
talk to her, and then she's like, I have a boyfriend, and then I'm like, okay, yeah, but I don't care. And then you
Okay,
keep going the whole
yes,
night.
yes,
No, I wouldn't do that. I would
yes.
turn to her friend. If her friend was cute, I mean, again, I wouldn't do any of this because I'm a bitch. But
We're working on it.
yeah, in theory, I would just go after dude. It's like that would be like a cheetah chasing the fastest hyena. You know what I mean? Or fastest gazelle or whatever the fuck they eat. Okay.
I love your analogies.
Why would you go after the fastest one? Grab the slowest one. It's right there. So if the girl with a boyfriend is the faster one, the girl who's single there, why wouldn't you just go after that one? It's a much easier kill, quote unquote. I
Ooh.
hate to say it like that, but
Ooh, we're
but do you
getting
get what I'm
dark.
saying?
Yes.
So like, why would you do that? Now,
Okay.
again, if
I agree.
boyfriend girl
Would
was
you feel
all,
bad the next day though?
not one bit,
Really?
not a single bit.
Oh, I would feel bad.
But you want to know why? You want to know why I don't give a fuck? Because if that was my girlfriend, the guy that she banged wouldn't give a shit about me.
True.
So why the fuck am I going to care about it? Now, If it was like my friend's girlfriend doing this, I'd be like, yo, this is a fucking problem. We're shutting this
Right. Yeah,
down.
yeah.
If it was some guy who I don't even know, or if I like seen, oh yeah, I've seen that guy at the bar. I don't fucking care about that dude.
I would feel
Sounds
awful.
sounds rude, but again, if that was my girlfriend, he would bang her and then text all of his buddies and be like, yo, I banged some dude's fucking girlfriend last night and not give a shit.
Oof.
So why would I care about him?
Oof.
Yeah, you don't like that because it's true.
I know. Ugh. Am I digesting this over here? Whew. Well, we started this thinking that we would have no idea what to talk about today, and boy, were we wrong.
Yeah. Again, I don't shut the fuck up, and that's why we started this podcast because, we don't shut up.
And maybe next time that we are struggling for content, we could just not hang out for 2 weeks, and then we'll be on fire.
Yeah, this is true. And I feel like we have more to unpack off air. You
Yeah,
know what I
and
mean? Like,
guys, thank you for bearing witness to our first fight on air.
yeah, I won.
This is exactly how our fights go in real life, by the way.
Yeah.
Is I lash out at Bobby. He doesn't back down.
And then I usually win.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that you win, but I would say that
I'm 1-0 on air. Let's just make that
I
clear.
take a moment to hear what you're actually saying and realize that the point in which I was arguing with to begin with is usually not what you were saying at all.
So that is your convoluted way of saying that you won, Bobby. We'll end it on that, right? That's how I win arguments. Just cut them off. On that note, everyone, you already know what to do. Feel free to follow the Irregular Instagram page at Irregular Podcast. Also, follow my personal page at YoBob, EYOOO_BOB.
Did you almost just forget your Instagram for a second?
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, miss, I don't know what I am. Anyway, my Instagram page as well, guys, at Katie_ANI. It's KAITY_ANI. This summer is going to be a little bit different than past weeks. Bobby and I are really trying hard to have lives this summer. So
Lots of traveling.
Yes, lots of traveling. We couldn't do it last year because of COVID. So we have some exciting things coming up. So with that said, we're not going to be religiously every week. We're going to be very close to it, but just stick with us. And if you
follow our social media, you'll know.
Yeah. And if you're super broken up about that and you just like don't want the episodes to end, hit us up with some fire guests or slide in the DMs and get on the show, because the more people that reach out, the easier it is for us to pump out episodes.
And on that note, we will talk to you next Thursday.
Love you guys.